Let's go.
Yeah.
It's time for Death Battle Cast, guys. Let's fucking go. All right.
All right.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm hyped.
A lot of energy right now.
No.
I'm excited.
I'm actually quite
well.
mellow.
That's all my energy now. So.
It's a cloudy day outside. Quite nice. Good energy. Nice vibe.
That's cool. Okay.
I was listening to the Peacemaker intro and jamming out, and Billy just came in with the dance there. So like, I'm ready to go.
I did kind of an Undertaker intro too. I don't know if anybody saw that, but it was
wow.
It was special.
Man, everybody has their thing now whenever we start this.
My
show,
bit,
right?
yeah.
Is that how this is
demand
going
a
to work?
theme from now on. I need my own individual theme.
Gotcha.
Ooh,
Every time
Liam's
Billy
theme.
walks out, we just have da, 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 da. All right, hey, welcome to the Death Battle Cast. It's us, you know us. It's Ben, it's Chad, it's Billy, it's Liam. We're here to talk some stupid shit.
As
That's
always,
what we do here. So today we have a fun little death match that a couple of us have really wanted to talk about for a while, but we wanted the show that just came out recently to wrap up first. Punisher, the Punisher from Marvel versus Peacemaker from DC. If you have not seen the Peacemaker show that just kind of wrapped up on HBO Max recently, we're gonna try to avoid
massive spoilers.
massive spoilers, but no
Peacemaker's
guarantees.
made out of people.
No guarantees, unfortunately. Like, just putting that out there. So we're gonna try to avoid, like, especially Endgame, like late show spoilers, but no guarantees. So we'll see how this goes, because you know we want to really get into the character, what he's capable of doing, and just like how ridiculous he is, which is a big part of the show, especially in the latter half. So excited to get into that, and of course, Punisher. There was a TV show. I don't know if we're going to be really diving into that, but there's plenty to work with.
I know for a fact you're not pulling feats from the shows. You'll be pulling from comics.
We'll see.
Punisher got sad sometimes.
I mean, this is going to be an interesting one because Punisher obviously has way more material to draw from.
Very true.
But Peacemaker has some ridiculous shit that we'll get to. Even if we're just taking John Cena's Peacemaker, I feel like there's some ridiculous shit even that we can talk about. Anyway, so here's how this is gonna work. Chad is gonna be arguing for Peacemaker. Billy is gonna be arguing for Punisher. And it's their job to convince the jury to vote for their characters by any means necessary. And the jury consists of me, for once, which is amazing, of Liam, for once, which is also amazing.
Isn't that wild? It's both of us.
Like,
once.
how do we do this? And you guys,
the two roosters in the pen, looking at each other.
Mm-hmm. And you guys watching the show right now, if you're watching this live on Tuesday, thank you so much. We do this every Tuesday live on roosterteeth.com at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you will be able to vote in the chat, and also let us know in the chat who you think should win and why, and also why you think Peacemaker is the best or worst show you've ever seen.
Apparently there's no middle ground.
There's just no middle ground. That's just how this works.
Is it really controversial? I thought it was.
No,
it was just kind of
it's
like
not.
well liked. Okay,
It's just
okay.
yeah, it's just fun.
Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. So we can begin with opening statements in just a bit. I do want to real quick mention. I know some people are still wondering if we're going to do it. Announce the first episode of Death Battle Season 9. Not just yet. However, that should be coming up very soon this month. So stay tuned. Maybe next week we'll have something to show you. Very excited.
There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. It takes a lot.
Yeah.
So
we are.
We won't bore you with the business stuff.
Without getting too into it, we are trying to do something. I mean, we try to do a lot of things different every year, right? Like we do different things with episodes, with like how we do animation and whatnot. But there's a new thing we're trying to do this year. We'll get into it probably next week. We'll see how it goes.
There's also a bounty out on our heads right now, and we need to keep low in general, or else they're going to send some people after us, and it's not going to be good.
That's why
it's not going to be good for them. Really, it's for their health and safety more.
That's why we're all on 3 different VPNs right now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm actually in Thailand.
All of them
right
Express
now.
VPN. No,
Exactly.
All right. So let's get into this. Opening statements. Who feels like they're up for going first?
Happy to.
Go for it, Chad. Peacemaker, let's go.
All right, give me my time. All right, here we go. Christopher Smith, aka the Peacemaker, a man who cherishes peace with all of his heart so much he'll kill every man, woman, and child to get it. Peak human strength and speed, has building level durability. He's been trained since childhood in every weapon known to man, as well as many different martial arts. He's so proficient with weapons, he doesn't even need to look at a target to shoot it. His arsenal includes explosive, guns, blades, a helmet with a myriad of powers, which I'll get to in a little bit, and of course, his trained killer eagle, Eagly. There is nothing Peacemaker won't do in the name of liberty, even eat an entire beach full of dicks. You can have the 20 seconds back.
That's it.
That's it.
1
Billy,
second
how,
for every beach dick. That
Billy,
Peacemaker
how
could
on
eat.
earth is Punisher gonna beat somebody
I
who's
don't know.
willing to eat a beach full of dicks?
I don't know.
Someone that doesn't even need the full 60 seconds. That's pretty impressive.
Well, the Punisher is the man the Peacemaker wishes he could be. Maybe minus the dead family. After witnessing a mob hit in Central Park, Frank Castle and his family were gunned down and left for dead, but Castle survived, becoming a one-man war on crime. A broken ex-Marine so far beyond saving that he can resist telepaths and mind control, and now all he cares about is eradicating every criminal he can until one finally puts him down after getting very, very, very lucky. He's a survivor and a scavenger who repurposes the spoils of war and stocks his safe houses with deadly armaments, bulletproof gear, knives, swords, guns of all types. He's taken on Spider-Man and Batman and killed the entire Marvel Universe, off canon, mind you. And he's taken on the most evil comic book character of all time, Archie. Frank said it best. We're nothing but white blood cells, hunting the infection called crime. A sickness that sneaks in through the cracks the way Brussels sprouts sneak in to a plate of delicious macaroni and cheese. Sure, the city looks safe. Just push the Brussels sprouts to the side, right? Wrong! No matter where you put them, their vile vegetable juices corrupt the whole plate. I know you're stinking those stinking Brussels sprouts off the plate.
What?
I don't know where we ended, but it was fun.
I like that. My
How did we
question
get
is,
to that?
I didn't know this. So his family was murdered in Central Park? Was it like Central Park at night? I feel like
No.
I've seen like panels and it's like during the day.
Yeah, it was Central Park of the day.
There are like other people there. There's
Well,
like
yeah.
there's like
What was it-
probably
was
like
it-
a couple like having a picnic nearby or
Yeah,
you know,
apparently
a
no one else was
parade.
looking when the mob hit happened, and only Frank Castle and his family looked
Wow,
specifically at it.
a daytime Central Park mob hit. That's wild.
If I'm not completely
That's
mistaken,
audacious.
the Thomas Jane version, his entire family is having a cookout, and they all get shot.
You know,
Dude, it's been so long since I saw those.
just googling it real quick. As of 2016, the average daily amount of visitors to Central Park a day is 42 million people.
Oh
Yeah,
my
you know.
god.
That
42
feels
million
fair.
people could have seen
It's-
that.
I mean, mind you, it was the 70s, so it was a little bit less.
So 22 million
Yeah,
people.
yeah, exactly.
Central Park, let me just say, is enormous. It's the size of like a
Of the city.
medium-sized
Well, I
city.
mean,
yeah, like
the other people knew not to look. That's the key.
exactly.
they're like,
That's
"Mm,
true.
mm."
In New York, when you're walking around, you just don't make eye contact. You just when you're on the subway, you're like, that's an interesting kind of piece of wall right there. That's a really nice wall, and you just can't kind of look at that until you get to your stop. It's true. It's true.
So as Seed
As
Fighter
much
in
as
the
I-
chat says, Brussels sprouts and dick beaches. This is a great start.
Hell yeah.
But I have no idea how to like equate that.
It's like,
into
as much as
whatever
I-
we're moving forward with.
Yeah, it's like we need to move forward. As much as I'd like to calc the likelihood of someone being in Central Park to witness the murder of Frank Castle's family, like, which we could do, and Liam might do for fun later. But let's get into it a little
Yeah,
bit,
so
right?
the thing I think is very interesting about these two is they do have a shit ton of similarities. They're pretty similar. They take on similar kinds of things.
And they're-
Peacemakers. Oh, go ahead, Chad.
Well, the thing that I'm curious about too is both of these characters have throughout their lifespan like have access to such a arsenal of weaponry, right? It's like it's just whatever the comic like writer wanted them to pull out at this time. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, like when it comes to like guns, it's everything from like pistols, machine guns, sniper rifles, rocket launchers. You know, like it's literally like everything. If it can be shot, both of these characters have probably done it.
My question is for Peacemaker. Well, Punisher has a pretty great track record in Marvel Comics. Like he's like a Captain America, Daredevil tier kind of hero, with a much larger arsenal. Peacemaker, I feel, is kind of like, I mean, he's a humorous character. He feels like the kind of jokey version of the Punisher. I'm curious what Peacemaker has that can kind of keep him like in league with someone like the Punisher, who like routinely takes on like extremely skilled martial artists and kind of very low superhumans.
Sure. And so like Peacemaker's done a lot of stuff like in the comics too. He's also like he's helped out the Blue Beetle a lot. Like at one point he was mentoring one of the new Blue Beetles. One point he got a scarab embedded in his spine and then just straight cut it out and lived. He lives through some crazy shit. Like his like if we're talking the comic stuff, like this guy has been like stabbed, shot, blown up. Like he's been like this character has been dead like multiple times, and then somehow always he's just like, hey, what's up? He just like shows up in a comic. They're like, holy shit, it's Christopher Smith, and he's like, that's right, I'm still alive, and I'm here to mentor this person now, or whatever. So he's done a lot of stuff, but honestly, like, so he has a jetpack. Survived a lot of explosions. But one of the big key things is his helmet. And so depending on what you want, so in the comics, his helmet could do like have a bunch of different things. Whereas in the TV show, they are like one helmet, one purpose. And I'll let me go into those a little bit. So like the helmet can shoot a laser, can create a full body force field. We shouldn't use this one, but it can turn into a human torpedo, which that's a prototype, and it won't go well if you use it. Though at one point it is used, and yeah, trying to avoid.
It's great
spoilers.
for Ed Bison cosplay, then.
Yeah, breathe underwater, X-ray vision. This one you're gonna love. Scabies for all. Which upon activation will give every person within a 1 mile radius scabies, except for the wearer of the helmet.
Is there like a button on the helmet? Is it like sci-fi?
It's voice activated.
Yeah.
So
he just says activate
scabies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Scabies mode.
If he said activate scabies for all, everyone in a 1 mile radius. If someone else said activate scabies for all next to the helmet, everyone would have scabies,
including Peacemaker.
Yeah.
If he was, unless he was wearing it. If he was wearing it, he'd be fine.
Wait,
so
okay.
The helmet has a built-in.
If he walked up to the helmet before putting it on and was like, yeah, it'll give everybody scabies if I say activate scabies for all, then it right next to him would just go, and everybody, including him, would have it. But if he's wearing it, it protects him from whatever.
I actually did not know until this moment what scabies were, although I'd heard the word before. I mean, I can kind of intuit what it is, right? And I was correct. I did not know that it was, I thought it was like a rash, and it is, but I didn't know that it was caused by a burrowing mite.
Yeah, so he
gross.
I guess create mites and people.
Does it just manifest a mite into reality? It's like a reality warping helmet. That's insane.
But probably the most powerful is the Sonic Burst, or Sonic Boom. And so that shit is crazy. All you have to say is activate Sonic Boom. And we've seen it obliterate a superhuman. I mean, turn them into a mushy pile of goo in a crater. And we've also seen this thing take down a building, like a multi-story building. It's got about 3.5 charges to it. And that's the thing that I will be very curious to hear if Billy has an argument of why
it does have
Frank
a limited
Castle.
range. It does have a limited range. Maybe
but the range is like
100 feet.
Yeah, it's like a good crater-sized range, right?
You
like,
sure,
if Frank is like right next to him, yeah, that thing is blasting him.
Yeah.
But
if he's sniping him from a distance,
is Frank much of a martial arts fighter, or is he more of like a long-range gun you down as soon as
he's a bit of both. He's trained in a lot of martial arts, but of course he has a shitload of armament training. I don't know if it's still canon that he was a Vietnam veteran in 616 now, but that's traditionally he's spent a lot of time over there and got a taste for killing, and then it came back when his family was killed. I think that Peacemaker is going to get one blast of that helmet off, and it's not going to go well for him after that, and he's going to have to make sure he takes him out in that one hit. And Frank does have some pretty solid padding on his armor, so I think it's going to ring his bell, but I don't think that would kill him.
There is no way.
Right. If he's right on him, it's going to paste him. Yes, that's true. I don't think Frank's going to let him do that easily, but you're just assuming he's going to run up to him. Explosion mode.
Yeah, so I do want to point something out. So this superhuman that you're talking about, Chad, without avoiding spoilers, very, very specific spoilers, the superhuman in the show, they're superhuman, but Peacemaker, who is not superhuman, is still able to fight them. Like,
Oh, yeah, I mean, he was losing.
he gets kind of tossed around, but it's not superhuman to the point where, like, they punch him in the face and his face caves in.
No, it's true.
Right,
But
it
they did point out that strength, durability, and speed are increased when these people become superhuman in this way.
They
Sure,
never say
and we
how
see that. They're
much.
jumping around and stuff.
They did not.
But they're not necessarily, like, this isn't Captain America level super.
I mean, this person jumped off of a 4-story building, like, I guess more than that, whatever, but like, and was like completely fine. Like, and this person was slammed through walls, was totally fine.
I want to point out,
So maybe it is kind of Captain America level superhuman.
Yeah.
Because
it's
it is kind of one of the things I appreciate about the Peacemaker show is they make his bulk and like his John Cena-ness be like a major point of how he fights.
mhm.
Like there's a character that he fights whose thing is speed
Yeah.
and agility and technique, and he's able to kind of beat him by just being bigger.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically how he wins.
Yep.
Well, what's so interesting too is in the comics, one of the things they hit on too is that like he's like very, very agile. Right. And
Mhm.
and so they do that in the fight scenes, but then like there's also little nods to the comics, like this dude will jump and pull himself up through stuff like so quickly. Like he's pretty agile for still being a big guy, right?
Yeah.
This episode of Death Battle Cast is sponsored by Blue Chew. Feeling confident can take you far in life, especially when it's time to step up to the plate. That's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but as a chewable tablet and at a fraction of the cost. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. And it's all done online, so no doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no going to the pharmacy. So, if you could benefit from a little extra confidence when it's time to perform, Blue Chew can help. And we've got a special deal for anyone watching the show. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code DBC at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code DBC to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And thanks, Blue Chew, for sponsoring the podcast. We appreciate it. So,
But okay, with that in mind, so thinking that this thing can kill something that is maybe close to, if not equal to, a Captain America level superhuman ability, does Punisher have anything that can defend against that, Billy?
I mean, Punisher is kind of in that Flash-ish. I think, he's not going to beat Captain America. He's not going to beat Spider-Man, but he has tangled with him fairly often. I know there's been a couple occasions where he kind of knew Spider-Man was coming just by sound and was able to dodge him, which is pretty impressive with Spider-Man.
I mean, that's how he was introduced, right? Like,
Right, yeah, he was gunning for Spider-Man because he thought he was a murderer, so he's like, hey, I'm going to kill this guy. But, he's got a fairly even track record fighting Daredevil, a fairly even track record fighting Wolverine, although mostly by cheating and shooting him in the face and running him over with a steamroller. But, like, you got Black Widow, Bullseye, trained, superhuman-ish level people are the kind of things that he fights. So I think that they're pretty much even. Yeah, there you go.
Wow,
Thank you.
okay.
That's one way to settle a fight, I think.
Does Punisher wear any like really I guess hyper durable armor of any kind?
His armor
Yeah.
is he's got a ton of body armor on that does soften a lot of blows intentionally, as well as blocks bullets and knives and stuff like that.
Does he have an Iron Man suit? Because I know he wore the War Machine suit at one point.
I think that's the thing is he scavenges shit. So if he can get his hands on it, he will use it. I think Brian, I sent you. He repurposed the Green Goblin's glider once, which is one of the stupidest and best things I've ever seen.
oh, that's hilarious.
It just
Oh my
put a
God.
little fucking skull logo on the front of it, and it's mine now.
That's great.
dude, when you got a logo that cool, that's amazing.
It's just the glider
It's-
with the skull. Oh, I love it.
Also, he looks so much like Steven Seagal in that photo. I can't
Yeah,
get
that's
over it.
weird.
Oh God, he does.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
The Punisher, the Punisher's been through some weird shit too. The Peacemaker, especially in the show, fairly weird. Frank Castle's been murdered and turned into an agent for heaven, killing demons, as well as sliced and diced by Wolverine's son and turned into Frankencastle, a brought back to life,
Jesus
man
Christ.
who fought monsters and defended a city while riding a giant werebat.
Wonderful.
Of course he did.
So, man, Peacemaker's durability is crazy. Like, for someone, it's one of those characters they're like, oh, they're peak human. And you're like, no, they're not. Like, this dude was shot through the throat and then had a skyscraper collapse on him. And then all that he had happened to him was he had a broken collarbone. Like,
Well, he
One of my
was
favorite-
also like in a coma too.
Yeah,
Like, if
it was
that
a little
still
more than
happened to him.
that. That was
He had-
more so like
he was
after
knocked
recovered,
unconscious
that's
and
what
had a
was left.
broken collarbone. It is specifically called out that they were just like, the doctor couldn't believe it. They're just like, you're like the luckiest man alive because
yeah.
you had a
I love,
built like a skyscraper fall on you, and all you got was a broken collarbone.
Does he have bulletproof armor?
He does.
Like if you
So
were to shoot
all
him
of
in the
his
chest.
yeah. So here's what's really interesting about his armor. All of his armor is fully bulletproof, but it's also made of explosives. But there's I should have grabbed the panel, but there's a thing that like details his armor, and it's like it was like an advertising thing. It was like how Peacemaker is never unarmed, and it's like pointing out that like every part of his suit is also like a very specifically detonated explosive. So like the heels of his boots, but like you could shoot them or crush them and they won't explode. There's like specific things that cause it to go off, and his helmet has a like very special type of fuse that he could then use to blow the helmet up if he needed to. So yes, fully bulletproof while also being made of explosives. Comics.
Although, show with Peacemaker, you gotta show them guns, so you got some weak points in them right there. I love how it's very accurate, but also makes him look incredibly dorky, which is so good for that character. Like the way they treat him on the show is fantastic.
Here's the thing. This is how I see this going. So first of all, he's got Eagly, right? Eagly is a badass, right? It is his sidekick Eagle, who is just absolutely amazing. One of my favorite parts of the show. But also, like, when he needs to kill some people, he'll fucking kill some people. Like, we've seen Eagly swoop in, knock people unconscious, also knock people down, and then gouge their eyes out. So I think he has more than enough time to get in on the Punisher. Like, Eagly goes in, does his shit, goes running at the Punisher. Even if the Punisher's shooting at him, man, Peacemaker's been shot, stabbed, like, so many times. He can keep going. Plus, he's got a full body force field if he wants to use that. Use that to get in, then activate the sonic boom, and just literally obliterate Frank Castle into a mushy pile of goo.
Are we now saying that he's going to swap out helmets mid-fight? Or are we saying he's comic book
in the
Peacemaker,
comics? Comics, the helmet has multiple powers.
Makes sense.
So in the TV show, they use it as different helmets, but in the comics, it's all in one.
What about Punisher's gear and stuff like that? Like, I know he's had like one of Dr. Octopus's tentacles, Grim Reaper's scythe, an Iron Man gauntlet,
got
Ant-Man's helmet and Pym particles.
Stole that thing called the Satan
like
Claw for some reason. And of course the Green Goblin's glider, laser guns, flamethrowers. Chad, I want to keep Eagly out of this though, because he's going to shoot him first thing, and that's sad.
Well, then that's another thing. He shoots Eagly. Punisher's still running in.
Chad, I don't think Eagly would survive more than a second.
No, like that's the first thing going down.
I think Punisher would just cap him off and it'd be done. Like I don't.
Well,
I don't think
while
Eagly
he's
would
distracted shooting Eagly, and I didn't want to. I knew that would probably happen, but I didn't want to visualize it because it makes me sad. Because Eagly is awesome.
I would love a pet eagle, by the way. They are such beautiful creatures.
I mean, Eagly is the best character of the show.
Oh, he's so good. And I'm not going to say why, because Liam, I know you haven't seen it, and like, but there's just you'll get satisfaction in just episode 1.
Yeah. Oh, good.
So good.
Like me personally, I'll get satisfaction watching something.
Yes.
From
so it's probably horribly fucked up. Great.
You know what the weirdest thing about the Punisher too? When I was looking up some feats for him, like the person that he blows stuff up on the most is the Rhino. He has destroyed that man's armor so many times just to show, hey, this is a supervillain. No one really cares. Gets fucked up. So here's what this rocket does to him.
Rhino is pretty tough.
Yeah. So he's got armaments that blow the fuck out of that guy's suit, which is supposed to be, super, super tough. So,
So Peacemaker's also very crafty. In the show, they actually make it that his dad is the one that like creates the technology for him. But in the comics, he has made it all himself. He is like a master like weaponsmith and creates things. They do like a little nod at that. One of his being my favorite explosive he has at his disposal, which is a grenade tied to a Russian tank shell. Possibly taped.
But yeah, he makes it like when he's taking it out, he's like, I just invented it this morning.
Yeah, that's like, it's like It's just like, you're not just gonna throw a grenade? It's like, no, a grenade only blows up like 2 people. It's like, well, how many does that blow up? He's like, I don't know. I just invented it this morning. And he goes, eat peace, motherfuckers. And then he throws it out.
Then he runs away.
Yep.
Go.
Wait,
Yeah.
I just realized. I think Peacemaker. Oh, he does. He predates the Punisher
Mhm.
in comics.
Yeah, he was
I'd never even
like
considered
the Charles comics or whatever. There's like
Charlton.
Charlton
Yeah.
comics. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, the comedian in
Watchmen.
Watchmen was based on him.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
So, but yeah, also
Alan
again,
Moore wanted
he-
to make Watchmen with those characters first.
Who is Ozymandias based on?
I
'Cause
don't
he kills.
Not actually
he
sure.
kills the comedian. I don't know. I was trying to make a connection there. I was like, well, then, but what if this? But I couldn't. I can't.
Yep.
Don't remember who that's.
and again, in the comics, Peacemaker has a jetpack as well. So
That's true.
like getting into Frank Castle, I am not worried about in the slightest. And also like one thing I want to talk about is Peacemaker's accuracy. Like this guy, because they're both master marksmen, right? But like
Yes.
I don't think in the media that like anywhere in the media that we've seen, Peacemaker has missed a shot. So much so to the point that we've literally see him just stare Deadshot in the eyes and well, I guess in the mask and just literally put a gun over his shoulder and shoot a dude in the shoulder just to show off. And he only hit him in the shoulder intentionally because he had exploding compression rounds, which then blew the dude's torso apart. And to further talk about the accuracy, the calculation reaction time that he has to have there is a fight scene in the show where he's using his shield, which he has this badass shield, by the way. And he's just like, he's been knocking some people around. He nails some dude and the shield goes flying up into the air. In about 2 seconds, so again, he didn't toss the shield. He wasn't like, this is like a thing has happened. It's now spiraling up in the air. So he has the reaction time to look at that shield, calculate how it's spinning, pull out his Desert Eagle, shoot it so perfectly that it changes trajectory and decapitates a guy.
I'm afraid that they are evenly matched on that point as well, Chad. Punisher's shot 4 dudes over his shoulder without looking, and has shot both web shooters off of Spider-Man's wrists while he's swinging in the air
Nice.
in the same moment, and he can draw and shoot accurately in the space that it takes for a lightning bolt to strike.
Hell
That
yeah.
is-
I remember that. I
Oh, that's
remember that.
amazing.
Oh, that's amazing.
See, so what I'm trying to think is, you know what I should have pulled? You remember when we calculated Captain America and like the calculations that he does in his mind for like bouncing the shield off of stuff? That's basically what we're seeing here with Peacemaker stuff. So they're okay. I get you. They're pretty even in that regard too. I just don't think Frank has anything to do with the sonic boom, and I think
Mhm.
they're
That's
so
definitely-
evenly matched. Like all Peacemaker has to do is get in, and I think he's got a lot of ways to do that.
Well, he could outspeed him with that.
Real
Oh, go
quick, props to gaming news guy in the chat. You mentioned Ozymandias is based on Thunderbolt.
Oh
Who
wow, somebody I,
I
just
don't
don't
think
know at all. Okay, there you
Is really all that present in the comics like ever, so
go.
really hard to
Cool.
pull anything from that.
Good to know.
But good try, Liam. That's a good try.
I was trying to make a joke. I didn't even know where I was going with it, but okay, good to know.
Has
random
Thunderbolt
character.
ever
Our favorite, everyone's favorite.
how good is his accuracy? Like
I
how
just
deadly is he?
found this comic panel for Peacemaker, and it doesn't have any like important feats or anything. It's not really relevant at all. I just posted in the chat. I just really like the facial expressions from one of the people that I guess
Oh my
Peacemaker is fucking ruining
Wow.
that dude's day.
We gotta
I
bring that
just-
up. Peacemaker's
I just think
outfit
it's very funny.
is so dumb. I'm so glad that Gunn like decided to
Look
make
at
it this
his
stupid
eyes.
as
I
it should
can't
be.
I can't tell which one I like more, the middle left one or the bottom right one.
What is he doing? Is he shooting a laser from his helmet? What's happening there?
So
That-
he
that
can.
Go ahead, Chad.
We never saw it in the show, but his helmet does have a laser that he could just blast at any time.
Okay. So let's sort of like start pulling everything together here. It looks like to me, Punisher is an absolute beast and probably is going to have. If we name a feat for Peacemaker, I would be very surprised if Punisher does not have an equivalent feat in his history. However, it does seem like Peacemaker's helmet could be a major, like, the turning factor
Mhm.
in this because it's capable of so many different powers that Punisher himself is not necessarily going to have. He does have tech, different gear, but he's had different gear throughout the years, right? It's not like he's constantly carrying around the Iron or the War Machine outfit or Doc Ock's tentacle or whatever.
That's the thing. If he's coming into this blind, if he's not prepped on it, he's not going to be carrying.
But if we were to give him everything he's ever had, what would that amount to? Like, what would he?
Another thing I do want to point out.
Bring in?
That whatever he's carrying, please keep in mind that Peacemaker's helmet has X-ray vision, so he would instantly know
he's got
everything.
Sure,
that
but
he's carrying.
What would be the best equipment that he could bring into this? That Punisher could bring into this.
He's got the ultimate trump card, and maybe Brian, you can help me out with this. He's got pocket sand, and I don't think that there's any way that's not going to turn the tide of battle. Pocket sand. I mean, he's got. Yeah,
I love that you pulled a panel. Just
hanging out and have that at your feet.
Isn't there a scene? I didn't think I'd have to like counter your pocket sand feet. But isn't there, Ben, you just watched this. Like, doesn't he grab gravel and throw it in somebody's eyes? Did he do it when he was fighting the dragon? He might have done that. Anyway, he's very resourceful. He'll use whatever he needs.
The Punisher has carried Claw's Sonic Disruptor, just as a counter to the Sonic Boom thing. If you recall, the Claw is the main bad guy from the Black Panther, or not the main bad guy, but he's one of the bad guys in the Black Panther, and he has like that Sonic gun that can like shoot Sonic waves and shit like that. That would be a nice counter to the helmet thing or whatever.
He just wouldn't know though. Where, you know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't know that this guy's stupid looking helmet was going to
super dangerous.
Here's the thing. He kind of would, though, because Peacemaker would be like, all right, I've got you. Activate Sonic Boom. He would say it out loud. and then the force field has to come around his body, and then it activates. So I have a feeling Punisher's going to have a full second to react to this. And I think he could probably do something.
That's, to me, based on the way Frank reacts in the comics, he's going to get that one shot with the helmet, and if it doesn't paste him that first go, he's going to fucking ram that thing up his ass and activate it.
This episode of Death Metal Cast is brought to you by Guild Wars 2, specifically Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons. It's the third expansion to the award-winning and critically acclaimed MMORPG Guild Wars 2. It's out now, and it's the culmination of the Elder Dragon saga. In Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons, there's endless fun to be had. You can explore the beautiful Canthan continent, you can travel and fish with your friends in your own personal skiff, and even pilot a siege turtle combat mount. That's 4 cool words to put together. You'll be able to unlock 9 new elite specializations for your favorite professions, and there's more playstyles, more weapon choices, more traits to choose from. And if you want to break in combat, you can take your own personal skiff out on some waves, explore, relax, or hell, fish some more. There's 200 unique species all around Tyria. And if you want to hang out with a new guild, you can customize, train, and socialize in your guild hall and even live like Canthan nobility. I love that we're getting Guild Wars here. I've been a fan of Guild Wars since the original beta for the first game. Played all the way back then. It's a fantastic MMORPG. If you want that MMORPG experience, whether you only have a few hours a week or really want to get into the nitty-gritty of it, this is a good one to play. I highly recommend it. Check out the link in the description to get your hands on Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons, available now.
And that lightning bolt feat is pretty crazy too. Like, being able to shoot in the span of a lightning bolt coming down is like really fast. Like, I don't know if Peacemaker has like if they were in a quick draw scenario. I don't know if Peacemaker has an equivalent feat like that.
Chad, do you want to talk about his quick draw capability? Because I do have something.
Oh, I'd love to hear that, actually.
You want me to argue for you?
Well, then you just said you have something. I want to know. I didn't pull it.
Okay.
I didn't pull a quick draw feat. Go.
So,
Or just
I was thinking about this because I was thinking, like, this isn't really a spoiler for the show. Peacemaker in the Peacemaker show is going through some dramatic shit. So there are a lot of scenes where maybe he should be doing better than he actually. He would be doing better in a fight in the past than now when he's going through a lot of
Oh yeah, he's hungover.
PTSD
Like a lot
and
of
problems.
a lot of the fight scenes, he's hungover.
He's hungover,
Like
but
the
he's also
Suicide
dealing
Squad.
with his PTSD and
Right.
Yep.
his family issues and this like stress and this change of attitude. He's changing as a person. He doesn't know how to like kill people sometimes. He just doesn't know how to do it. But if you go to the Suicide Squad and compare him to Bloodsport, so Idris Elba's character, Bloodsport is kind of a mix of Batman and Punisher, it seems like in that movie. And he is put into so first of all, Bloodsport and Peacemaker are in competition the entire film, right? They are basically set up as evenly matched, and the only reason why their confrontation ends the way it does is because of the weapons they chose. And they did not choose the weapons specifically for each other. So it just happened to be those weapons at the time.
Yeah.
But do you remember whose idea that was?
Sure.
That was Peacemaker's idea. He brought it up in the beginning. He put that in Deadshot's brain.
Yes, it's a Bloodsport. Yeah.
Or Bloodsport. Why did I say Deadshot?
Because that's the other movie. Yeah.
They're the same exact character.
Because they're very similar in both movies, honestly. Daughter and everything. But yes, it is his idea, but Bloodsport does technically win, but they are basically even, and it just comes down to what kind of bullet they use.
Right.
Bloodsport is in Argus because he took down Superman. Superman in this universe can move faster than light speed, as he was able to fight Flash when Flash was blue.
Yeah, and he shot him with a kryptonite bullet, right?
Yes. He put Amanda Waller just mentions he put Superman into the ICU with a kryptonite bullet.
That's true.
Superman in this universe is able to hear Lois Lane screaming from Metropolis from the fucking North Pole. So somehow Bloodsport is able to fire a gun without Superman realizing it, that then hits him.
Well, here's the thing. Do we know that Superman didn't just take it thinking that, oh, it's a fucking bullet? Like, did
Superman has X-ray vision and can see things faster than light. I'm pretty sure he would be able to tell
unless
that
it was lead lined. Unless it was a
lead
lead-lined kryptonite bullet. That's entirely possible.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's pretty funny.
So that I think is like the best possible thing.
That is possible.
For Peacemaker.
I think we would need to see, but I wouldn't feel confident unless I saw the actual like what happened. Like, in the Dark Knight, whatever the Frank Miller thing where Green Arrow pops in and shoots Superman with the arrow. Like, there are like extenuating circumstances to a lot of those things.
Yes.
And I mean, I wouldn't use it as feats because it's non-canon, but again, there's an entire comic book where the Punisher kills every superhero you can think of.
Well, it's non-canon.
Still
We're not
published.
Gonna,
I mean,
it's not
using
non-canon.
the movie
It's technically
here,
just a
like,
different
fuck
universe.
it. Let's use that as well, right? Like, we're
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
combining things here. I don't know, whatever. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, but
Well,
wasn't that also
then-
like I do research on all the people and then I slowly track them down and use their weaknesses?
Yeah. No, it wasn't
Like-
exactly well written, but Garth Ennis hates fucking superheroes, but it still happened.
Sad and depressing.
Yep. Also, I just realized, where did the time go? Like, I thought we had so much more time, and I looked down, I was like, oh my god, it's 3:45.
We started a little late because of other things, but yeah.
That's right.
Yes. So if you have not voted yet, which it's always good to wait to see the arguments or whatnot, but the poll is in the chat. You can use #1 if you're on mobile to vote for Peacemaker, or #2 to vote for Punisher. For one of the two P's.
I just thought of another, they've both taken on animals much stronger than them too.
This is true.
Peacemaker took on a gorilla, and the Punisher
Dude,
punched the bear in the face.
I straight up thought they were about to do Gorilla Grodd. I was like, I literally turned to April. I was like, I think they're doing Gorilla Grodd. Like, I was like, and then it wasn't.
when they set it up in an earlier episode, yeah. Oh my god, the fucking polar bear.
The bear's like, what the fuck, dude?
I was so ready for it. Yeah, that's amazing. He just punches a polar bear. That's great.
Yeah. They did Gorilla Grodd in the Flash TV show I thought they actually did a pretty good job with them.
I need to watch it. I never
eventually did,
got around to
Is
it.
that the episode where he's attacking Barack Obama in the past? Is that? Yeah.
I don't remember exactly. I know when he first shows up, it was kind of interesting what they did with him. But Flash is one of those TV shows where like it just gets kind of stupid the more you watch it. But the first few seasons are pretty dang good. And yeah, I was kind of impressed that they even attempted Gorilla Grodd. King Shark's in it as well. I do think the Suicide Squad versions.
I just feel like of all people who would have brought Gorilla Grodd in, I was like, Gunn will do it. I was like, this is it. And it was like, oh no.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that he didn't bring it. Maybe if they do a season 2, that seems like a good follow up.
Yeah.
Be like, we fought a gorilla, and then they meet a new gorilla,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, this one's a little different.
And I love all the references to the other superheroes. And like he has like a messed up Peacemaker has a messed up story for like every superhero that's like main DC poster boys. Like it's so
I just
good.
love
Also,
when comic book like media gets so fucking weird and like leans into the weird comic booky stuff. Like that's why we like that shit.
dude, we got a reference to Kite Man in Peacemaker. Like
yeah, Kite Man. Kite Man.
like-
Hell yeah.
It's like his one like cherished feat too. It's on his fucking.
I was honestly shocked that Kite Man was not in the Suicide Squad. I was fully expecting
He seems perfect
that to
for
be.
it, yeah.
Instead,
Oh, yeah.
they brought in TDK.
TDK played by Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
I had to go back because I love Nathan Fillion, by the way. Like I stand that man so much. And I saw the credits hit and it was like Nathan Fillion. I was like, what? And I was like, and so I had to go look it up and I was like, oh, he's the stupid little TDK.
I didn't realize
The
it
detachable
until
kid.
there's that scene where he's like on the ground, he's coughing up blood, and the camera like pulls out.
Yeah.
That's when I realized it. It was like, wait, hang on. I had to like back up just a few seconds, be like,
It's like how
that's Nathan Fillion.
it's like how the
I wonder-
invisible guy in Deadpool 2 is Brad Pitt.
Yeah. I wonder if Kite Man's got some protection now thanks to his role in like the Harley Quinn series. Like
That's
he's
probably
kind of,
why, because he was
Right,
already
like-
being used.
Because before
Yeah,
he would have been one of
that's
those
true.
characters like, fuck it, kill him. We don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Condiment King, right? Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love how
Oh
they
my
I love
God.
how they used Polka Dot Man in that movie.
Mhm.
I just really like that movie. It's my favorite
it's
of the
fantastic.
DCEU.
oh,
Right?
dude,
Yeah, that's what it's called.
The
DCEU.
other thing is,
like pretty
you guys
easily.
know- you guys know I avoid trailers, right? Like if it's a movie I know I'm gonna watch because they spoil so much
Yeah.
stuff. So
Mhm.
like, and that's like I got that experience because when I watched the Suicide Squad, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I know James Gunn is like he's known now because like he put like Guardians on the map and made them popular. That was a really niche comic to pull from, right? And so it's like, but I was like, Boomerang, like. The most recognizable one of the first squad in the beginning of the movie was like Mongol, right? And I was just like,
Yeah.
I was like, this is crazy. Like that they're actually going with these characters. And I was like, I guess they'll do it. And then they all got wiped out. And I was just like, oh, that was such a good intro. It's one of my favorite intros because I was completely surprised. I didn't know it, like who the characters are going to be other than Harley,
Yep.
right? And that's why they put
Yeah.
Harley with it because everybody was like, you'll know that Harley's going to be there. So it's legitimate. So good.
Yeah, I think you made some good calls bringing back certain characters from
Yeah.
the first one.
Yep.
And what he did with them. If you liked it, Liam, you'll like Peacemaker. I do think Peacemaker
It's the
starts off
same-
a little slow, but it
That's what I've
eventually gets to I think the same level.
It seems like it'd be my jam.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
watching
for sure.
through.
I do the one thing I kind of wish Peacemaker had more going for it was like one of the things that makes Suicide Squad so much fun is that there's so many supervillains who are all fucked up people, right?
Yeah.
And Peacemaker really only focuses on 2.
Mhm.
And only one of them really gets like really fully explored, which is Peacemaker. Don't get me wrong, John Cena does a fantastic job with it. Like, man,
So good.
there are times when like he's carrying the show,
Yeah.
and the dude can carry a lot. So like, and he's proving it.
I mean,
But
Vigilante's got.
I wish there were a few more characters there that they could maybe explore here and there, because like the Black Ops team that he's working with, they're fine, but like it takes a little while to get into them, I think. And
Yeah.
I wish there was a little bit more going on with some of them. Similar to what it was like, that team dynamic from Suicide Squad, I think, was kind of missing for the first like half of Peacemaker.
Yeah, but that said, there is like one thing that I like really pointed out. Like I can talk about the show forever. James Gunn is so good at like doing these humanizing moments
Mhm.
right? And it's like, even
Yeah.
though we're playing in this world of mysticism and like superpowers and whatever, like he's really good at still being like, yeah, but they're people. Like,
Yeah.
so when Harcourt texts them with like, you know, she's like learning to trust the team
Oh,
and like,
absolutely.
like when just starting that little text message is like, oh my god, they would do that, right? You don't think about
Yes.
the like the humanness of them, and like, so I think there are pieces of that though, you know, that you really get that I'm just like, oh, that's okay. And then the fucking mermaid
That's what I'm
from
talking about, though.
Vigilante.
It kind of takes a little bit to get to it, because that's like in episode 4 or 5 or whatever.
Sure.
Once it gets to, there's a point in episode, I think it's 4, maybe 3, where the show just really kicks into high gear. I can't remember exactly which episode, it is, and I don't want to say what it is because it's a big spoiler. But and then it's just like amazing from that point on. But after the first 2 episodes, I was kind of feeling like,
I guess maybe
I
that's
don't know where
part of
this
it.
is going. I'm not really invested.
Maybe that's part of it.
Yeah,
Is they needed to kind of like get some of those characterizations out, so you kind of understood them, so they could have the interesting moments later on. Like,
Yeah.
there's enough people on the team that kind of got to spread it out. Not everybody's going to have seen the Suicide Squad, although you're crazy if you're watching this and not that. But
I do think you kind of need to in order to get the full Peacemaker story. This episode of Death Metal Cast is brought to you by EveryPlate. Sure, we all love the meal kit services for their convenience, but our wallets might have different feelings. But EveryPlate brings you delicious dinners that won't break the bank. It's America's best value meal kit. Let EveryPlate plan, shop, and deliver everything you need to cook a delicious meal at a consistently low price. You can choose from 17 delicious weekly recipes and then, well, sit back. They'll deliver pre-portioned ingredients and easy-to-follow recipe cards, like these, right to your front door. Plus, their quality ingredients come carefully packed and pre-portioned, helping you save money and reduce food waste. You know, like that bag of greens that you throw away every week, or that cabbage. Are you really gonna eat all that cabbage? No. But think of it this way. An EveryPlate meal costs less than a cup of coffee. What, like, legit, less than a cup of coffee. That's crazy. Like, this is pork chops. This is legit. Like, it's good. Like, I've had this. Less than a cup of coffee for that. Like, it's amazing. Try EveryPlate for just $1.79 per meal by going to everyplate.com and entering the code CAST179. That's right. Get started with EveryPlate for just $1.79 per meal by going to everyplate.com and entering the code CAST179. It's amazing. All right. Thank you so much, EveryPlate. Back to the show.
Yeah.
They show how it affected him. But
Yeah. The episode 1 previously on the Suicide Squad. Which, that was great. But no, I got my dad into the show. I'm like, this is like right up my dad's alley for humor and stuff. And so I was like, you have to watch Suicide Squad first.
And of
Well, I
course,
would be watching Peacemaker if I hadn't been playing Elden Ring this entire weekend. I'm
Well, keep in
30
mind-
hours deep, and I love it.
what was
You
your starting class,
you
Liam?
could have finished Peacemaker and then played Elden Ring. Like it was done before that game came out.
you could have had Elden Ring on one TV and Peacemaker on the other, right
I
next
actually,
to it.
Yeah.
Why
during the
not?
parts of Elden Ring when I'm not exploring one of the bigger kind of like designed levels, when I'm out in the world, I've actually been watching some Star Trek. I've just been in kind of a TNG mood. Which is
Gotcha.
a very interesting sensation,
We're,
like fighting a
that's-
giant baby dead bird skeleton thing, and then hearing Picard go, "Yes, well, shut the fuck up, Wesley." You know?
It's funny. That's been my series I'm watching while working pretty often, and like some of the mind-numbing stuff, Liam. So we're on the same track right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's great.
All right.
Something
All
very
right, we don't have a lot of
soothing.
time left.
Yeah,
But I do just want to say, it's like we've been like just like talking about Peacemaker, and it's like, yes, technically Peacemaker is produced by our corporate overlords, and we are doing the companion podcast Podly with Iffy and Fiona. But I fucking love this show. Like, I truly do. And then when I found out too late that we were doing the companion podcast, I was like, damn it. It's like, out of all the recap podcasts we've done, if there was one that I would like kill for, it would be that. But Iffy and Fiona are doing an amazing job. So if you guys didn't know that, go on HBO Max. You guys can watch the companion podcast Podly, where they get to interview like all the cast. It's super awesome. The actor who played Vigilante just like had an absolute blast. John Cena was amazing. He like legitimately like had fun doing it. He wore his Peacemaker outfit. He brought props. So definitely check that out if you want to see Iffy and Fiona getting to do what I wish I could do. And go check out the show. It's super fun.
Love it. All right. Let's get into this. So everybody here start thinking about. I'm talking to myself and Liam. Liam, we need to start thinking about who we're going to vote for. But for you guys watching, go ahead and get your votes in on the poll right now. First things first, we've got some answers from Twitter that we're going to bring up. And then this is actually going to be the last time we're bringing Twitter answers in. From here on out, we're actually going to be doing the poll and the answers from the YouTube channel. I'll get more into that at the end of the show. But let's go ahead and bring up the first answer from the Twitter poll.
All right, from Zeo Storm, Peacemaker has survived getting shot through the throat and had a giant tower fall on him while he was still inside, and he has helmets that can breathe underwater, use sonic boom at least 3 to 4 times, human torpedo, anti-gravity, x-ray vision, and scabies for some weird reason. You got to bring up scabies for
I want to know if he made that helmet on purpose or it was just a happy accident. Like, his dad
it was his dad that would have made that one.
Yeah,
his dad's even more fucked up than he is.
What's funny is his dad is worse in the comics somehow. You wouldn't think
Yeah, in the comics, his dad is a secret Nazi.
Well, I mean, he is in this one too. So
I think he's kind of an open Nazi.
He was an open Nazi.
I guess he's an open Nazi.
Also, Vigilante confronting them in prison, that is one of the greatest lines of dialogue ever written. When he's talking about what music would be like without black people to piss them all off, and it was absolutely hysterical. I cried. I was laughing so hard.
It's a pretty good scene.
There's never been a "we need to fight now" line delivered so well in my opinion. Anyway,
let's get to the other Twitter answer.
Ethan Cullen, Punisher can react to Cap's shield, broken steel chains, ripped a man's arm off, fought Dakin with a broken leg and a bullet in the other, punched a polar bear, love that got brought up again, found a way to counter Deadpool, and killed the Marvel Universe. Peacemaker is fucked. Wow.
Well said.
All right. Time to get to the vote. We're going to start with the Twitter poll. Go ahead and bring that up and see what you guys have to say. Punisher wins.
Of course, because everybody loves the Punisher.
65% to 35%.
Punisher has a cool logo.
6% to 34%. Well, Punisher's pretty well known.
Oh yeah, much more popular.
Peacemaker had an uphill battle on this one, but
Punisher also has a lot of stuff going for him, Chad. Like,
he doesn't have the sonic boom helmet.
You can't just equate it to it's whoever's most popular. Right?
I sure can.
Going for Punisher.
I believe you set the rules by any means necessary.
That's true.
Played by John Cena, can't be seen. Done.
All right then. Let's get to our votes here. So we have one for Punisher. Liam, who are you voting for?
Oh, he's really on the fence on this one.
No, I'm not. It's Punisher, obviously. I was just trying to think of like a bit to do. I was trying to think of a bit right there, but I couldn't think of anything, so I'm just gonna do Punisher. Yeah. Sorry. Wow. I the more I look, the more it seems like I feel like Peacemaker wins the moral victory. You know, wins the I like him more.
Peacemaker can get better as a person. Thing. That's something that Punisher will never be able to do because he's just completely broken.
Counter the damn helmet.
Right. And there might be some crazy shit in the comics. Who knows? But I feel like just looking through the Punisher respect thread as we've been talking, like anything that you could bring up for Peacemaker, you could also bring up for Punisher. So I get probably out stats too, just in general. So I'm probably gonna go with Punisher. Sorry, Chad.
Broke my heart on this day.
I don't know. I think I might have to go with Peacemaker.
Thank you.
I don't know if it's just
counter the helmet argument.
I don't know if it's just because I just watched the last episode 8, like less than 24 hours ago, and it was phenomenal. Like it was just so fucking good.
Yeah.
And so I'm just on kind of a Peacemaker kick right now. But I don't really see any way for Punisher to reliably counter the helmet stuff. Counter it, yes, but reliably counter, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I don't know. This one's a little up in the air for me, but at the moment I'm leaning towards Peacemaker.
Lock it in. Great.
That's one Peacemaker, 2 Punisher.
Uh-huh.
Let's see
Let's
what
see
you
the
guys
chat.
voted for in the chat. We just ended the poll.
Come on, chat.
Bring that up. And if it is a tie, we do have a tiebreaker. But we'll see if it is first. All right. Whoa!
Yeah.
Damn it!
Close.
Okay.
You
okay,
really raised
okay.
the numbers there.
Okay, it is really close. It's closer than I expected. Punisher wins with 54%, but that doesn't mean 46% for Peacemaker. Much closer than the Twitter poll. So Punisher wins.
Damn it.
But I think.
But at what cost?
You convinced some people, Chad. You did good, Chad. You convinced some people.
I know
clearly.
that's my number. Well, all I want to do every time.
Good job,
is
Chad.
all I want is to win the community vote, though. But we tried.
Everybody, let's bring it up for Chad.
Peacemaker survived a fight with Major Force. Why wasn't that brought up? Major Force is like Captain Atom, right? Like he's
pretty up
evil
there.
Captain Atom. That's
Because
like
I couldn't find the comics. I told you this.
Well, you know,
I
I
found
could survive a
select
fight
panels,
with a-
but couldn't get a
I
hold
could
of the
survive a
actual
fight
Major
with a-
Force is like a living nuclear bomb.
Well, look, I could survive a fight with a grizzly bear if I fucking curl up into a ball and convince it that I'm dead. So without further details,
We
I
don't know exactly how he survived.
At one point, like I saw, see, the thing is, like, I really wanted to read all the comics. Like I wanted to rip through the comics for this, but I couldn't find them in time, and I didn't have a lot of free time. But so there's one thing that's like the Peacemaker in the Fire World. It was like issue number 5, and he's like fighting a lava monster, and I'm just like, what? And I literally then was like searching for panels from that because I was like, there's got to be some dumb shit in there, and I just couldn't find it. Anyway,
naturally. All right. So real quick, I do want to give a little bit of an update for how we are going to be approaching community death battles moving forward. Just a slight little change. But if you have been answering, so normally we have been putting up these polls on Twitter a couple days before we air the show live. So starting now, literally today, we are going to be putting the matches up instead on the community tab on the Death Battle YouTube channel. Frankly, we probably should have been doing this the whole time because we're doing this on YouTube as well, right? Rooster Teeth and YouTube. So that's kind of why we wanted to move over. It just makes more sense to put it on YouTube with the show, where the show airs on Fridays. Create a better dynamic between the YouTube channel and us on Rooster Teeth. And seems like more people are interested in posting there anyway. So, and everybody's there. So, for the next episode of Death Battle Cast, you will see whatever we're doing, because we haven't decided on it yet. Whatever matchup we're doing, you'll see it on the community tab on the Death Battle YouTube page. You'll be able to vote just like always. You'll be able to leave a comment just like always, and we will still take the vote from that poll and comments from below that poll and use them in this show. So
and make sure you visit the community tab regularly. We've been using it a lot more, and you will see us doing some more stuff with it in the near future.
Yes, absolutely. It's always fun seeing people like respond to stuff we post on there, and Embu's been doing a great job. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching this episode. Holy shit. That was a lot of fun. Peacemaker's just a fun character to talk about.
Yeah.
Like,
apparently, I'm looking at through that Fire World comic, Chad, and apparently he has an absolute zero gun, which shoots like I assume absolute zero beams or something, which causes a volcano to erupt.
Here's the thing, though: I would not be surprised if Punisher also has an absolute zero gun.
Well, yeah, that's also true.
All right. Yes, go watch Peacemaker if you haven't. It is worth it. It's a very good show. Holy shit. I've still got that last shot like in my head. It is fucking brilliant. And of course, everybody loves Eagly. If you liked King Shark from or Groot, hell, or Groot, like you're gonna love Eagly. All right. That's a wrap for today's episode of Death Battle Cast. As always, be kind to others, be kind to yourself, be awesome. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.